Hello everyone, so welcome back to Noni Plus. My name is Stanley Kimifuna and I'll be your C# instructor for today's class. So today we'll be looking at Access Modifier. I wanted to teach get and sets, but I found out that without having knowledge of Access Modifier, you'll not be able to understand get and set. So that's why I decided to choose this Access Modifiers. Yes, so what are access modifiers? Like the word mean access means that you're giving access to something. It means visibility to a class, visibility to a property, visibility to a field, access modifier. So we have like different types of access modifier. When I say types of, I say types of access modifier. So first of all, we have a one, public. We have two, private. We have three, protected. We have four, internal. So these are the four major types of access modifier. We have other types, but you have to know the four major types: the public, the private, the protected, and what? The internal. So I'm going to go straight to codes because now we have started coding. So I'm going to go straight to code, and from that code I can give you an example of how this access modifiers works. So first of all, what I want to look at, what are public access modifier? Let's go. So we have a class. Name of the class is students. So we have the properties. Let's say we have string name is equals to, let's say, John or Carrefour. So now we need to make this property a public class. A public property, because now there is no access modifier here. So if you want to make this property a public property, you can put your public here. We have your string. So making this public now means that this name, this property called name, can be accessed anywhere outside of this class, can be accessed anywhere inside the class, outside the class, can be accessed anywhere outside of this class. So that's why we make this thing called public. A public place means that everybody can walk into that place and do what they want to do. That's why it's, if you want to go to a public area, you go and select a place where people can go into. There is a free access, there is no limited access. That's why we have this public string name John or Carrefour. So now let's try to create a new what do you call it, object from this class. So we have a student, name of the class, the new objects, new object name. We have the new student is equals to what? New student. So now we have created the object from this particular class. So let's now print this particular property. So we have the CW objects, new students, new student dot what? Name. So you can see, immediately I click on this dot to tell me that you can see the properties is accessible. You can see we have the name here. So that's why we have name here. So if I print this thing now, it will show me John or Carrefour. Why? Because I've made this property public and I can access it anywhere outside of this class. Anywhere I can access it. Anywhere I can call this property. Anywhere I can access it. That's why we call it a public access modifier. Anybody can access it without any restriction. There is no restriction. Anybody can access it. So now let's go to private modifier. So for private modifier, let's leave this public string name or Carrefour. Let's give it another property. Let's say the private int, private string password is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now let's try to access this particular property outside of this class. Let's see. You can still come here and say CW. New students. Let's see. Please pay attention. New students. Let me click on my dot. Click on my dot. Did you see any password here? What I'm just seeing is name. Do you see any password here? We have to string, we have equals, get I. This is the only thing I can access because it's public. But for password, I can't access password because it's private. If I come here and put password there, maybe I want to just ignore the rules. Let me see whether it will complain. You can see it's complaining. What is the complaint? Student password is inaccessible due to its protection level. And what is the protection level? Private. Hope you get it now. Its protection level is private. That is why we can't access that particular property. Now, let's prove something now. Let me remove this public. Let me see if we can access this thing inside of this class. Let me remove this one. Let me remove this one. Yes. Or let me leave it. I'll move it. Okay, so we have a property, private string password. Let's create a method. Let's say public void. What is the method? Show password. Remember I taught you about what a method is. So these are a method. Show password, and what is inside the password? The method. Sorry. So what inside the method is what? Console.writeLine password. So this is a method inside this class, students, and we have a private property called password. So we are trying to, we have a method show password that we call that we print this password, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now let's print it. Let's see if it will throw an error. So what you're going to do is students, new students dot what? Show password. Show password is the method we created inside the class, and the method is calling what property in line 59, which is a private property called string password. You can see there is no error. You can see this private class, private property. You can see it's private, and we are calling the property inside this class, which is through this method called show password. So we are now calling this password dot show password. So trying to call this password, trying to call this method show password, and inside this method we have this private property that we are calling, which is password, and which is a private method. You can see there is no error. If I run this thing in my console, I'm going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's still running. Supposed to say 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a private access modifier. It can only be accessed inside of the class. Anything outside of the class will throw an error. Please pay attention. So let's move to the third one. The third one is called protected access modifier. So let us move this one. Move this method. Let's move this one. Let me clean it. Let's say protected int h is equals to 20. So we have this protected access modifier int h is equals to 20. So let's now print it. Let's see. CW, you have students new student dot what? I'm looking for age. Did they see any age here? Abi? Why am I not getting this age? Oh, because of what? The property is protected. You get an error. So it's not even showing it for you to even apply it. So let me just put age. Let me just break the rule. If I break the rule, you will see the error is going to say student.age is inaccessible due to its protection level. And what is its protection level? Is being protected. So protected means that only the class and its child class can access it. Only its class and its child class can access it. That's what we call protected. So protected and internal, they are related, but when you understand what are called inheritance, you know why we use protected for inheritance. But for now, just get to the mind that protected and private, they are related. So the next one, the last one we're going to look at is what? Internal access modifier. Let me clean this one. Internal access modifier. Let me say internal string country is equals to Nigeria is equals to Nigeria for internal. Let me now print it in my console CW. We have a new student. Click on dots. You can see there's country. Let me click on the country. It's even showing me the property, which is country. Is there any error? No, there is no error. If I print this here on my console, you see that it will show see that it will show Nigeria. So you can see it's showing Nigeria. You can see it is showing Nigeria. Okay, so what do you mean by internal access modifier? Means that it's accessible anywhere in the same project. It can be accessible inside the class, outside the class, in the same project that you're working on. It can be accessible. That's why we call it internal. So if I put everything together, from all the examples I've given you guys, we have internal string country, we have public string name is equals to John of power 4. We have protected, I think we have protected int age is equals to 12. We have private, what did I use in private? String password is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let me start pointing it up. Let's see. Let me duplicate this one. New student.country. Come here and say new student dot name. We come here and say new student dot age. You come here and say new student dot what? Password. You can see we have 2 errors because the 2 errors because of my access modifier level, which is what? Private and what? Protected. The one that is internal and public, you can see John Okafor and Nigeria. They are not showing any error. So for public, everybody can access it. For private, only the same class can have access to it. For protected, only the same class and the child class can have access to it. Therefore, internal, accessible inside the same project. So let's give you an example, because I said I'm going to give you an example after this coding. Let's say you have a house and you are the father, and you have a room, a special room where you keep all your money. You are giving instruction that this room is private for me alone. Your wife cannot access that room. Your children cannot access that room. Your worker cannot access that room. Nobody come to that house can access that room, because you have labeled it private. Number one. Number two, you have your kitchen, let's say kitchen. Yes, you have your kitchen, yes. Your kitchen. You have labeled your kitchen protected. Means that it's no longer private, but it's protected. Your wife can access it. Your offspring, that your child, your son or your daughter, can access that particular kitchen. I don't know if you get me. Your wife can access it. Your children can access it. That is your son or your daughter. But anybody outside of this cannot access your kitchen. Even though someone comes to that house, you cannot access your kitchen because you have really made it protected. It's still private because it's just within your family. It's still private. That is number two. Number three, we have your sitting room. Sitting room, we have tagged it as what? Public. Public means that anybody that comes into that house will be able to sit down on the chair in the parlor. Any visitor that walks in, your relatives, your brothers, your sister, your family, anybody that comes into the house, since you already tagged that parlor as public, they cannot go beyond that parlor or that sitting room, because it's public and it's not private and it's not protected. It's public. It's for everybody that come have access to that parlor. That is what public. The one we're looking at is internal. In your compound, you have a swimming pool or a field. A swimming pool or your field. So you have tagged it internal. That means your family, your son, your daughter, your wife, your neighbor can go into that swimming pool and swim. Sister can make use of this thing because it's what is internal. You can see internal and public are almost the same thing. I can see protected and private. They're almost the same thing. So hope you understand the access modifier. So in our next class, I'm going to be teaching get and set. See you in my next class. And make sure you subscribe, make sure you like my video, make sure you comment, and make sure you share my video. See you in the next one. Bye. It's a mini swap.